This is just motivation. Whatever you put out into the world is exactly what you attract into your life. Therefore, if you give off the vibe that I am okay, that I am good enough as I am, and that I am acceptable, and I love both life and the person that I am, when you cultivate an attitude of gratitude toward yourself and the world around you, life begins to respond to you in unexpected ways. Every single thing that enters our minds and every single word that we utter contributes to the formation of our future. It is as if our thoughts are broadcast into the universe, where they are received and converted into experience that is then communicated to us. Now that is very straightforward, but the majority of people just don't get it. They can't wrap their heads around the fact that they've never encountered it before. They are of the opinion that it is absurd. However, if you are able to truly accept the fact that every time you think a thought and every time you speak a word, you are literally painting your future, making your dinner, or whatever else you want to call it, you are creating, then the following statement will make more sense to you. You are the architect of your own life, and this is simple. However, it is not simple to accept, but after you've come to terms with it, you'll be able to start consciously bringing the things you want into your life. You have already started to become conscious of the aspects of your life that you do not want to continue, as well as the ways in which you are contributing to those aspects. Now, I believe that this has been around since the beginning of time. However, for some unknown reason, over the past 20 years, the universe has been working toward making this information available to everyone, or at least everyone who is prepared for it. See, the majority of us just go through the motions of thinking, and we don't pay any attention to the content of our thoughts. We're just doing it. However, this is something that you will need to train yourself to do, and you should also begin training yourself to be aware of what thoughts are going through your head. One of the ways to accomplish this is to ask yourself on a regular basis, what am I thinking? Would I like this thought to create my life? Would I like to have the experience that this thought could bring to me? It takes some time to complete that task. However, even if we start on the most fundamental level, which is to become conscious of our thinking, we can start to make improvements. To start, you should begin by engaging in a practice that is commonly referred to as affirmations. Also included in this category is the practice of making positive statements about your life. You might do them in the morning, you might do them at noon, you might do them at night, you might do them, twice a day or whatever. When you do this, you let this become a habit, and you do them deliberately. And as you begin to do them, things will begin to change, possibly on a very small level. I like to refer to this as getting the green lights in the parking places. I mean, they're not huge things in your life, but it sure is nice when 3 green lights in a row come along when you're in a hurry. Affirmations can be performed in a number of ways, including writing them down, writing them on the wall or the mirror, or simply just saying them. Standing in front of a mirror while saying positive affirmations is something I encourage people to do, because there is something very powerful about looking into your own eyes and either getting to the point where you accept yourself or becoming aware of the fact that you reject yourself when you are speaking positively about yourself and your accomplishments. Quite frequently, I would ask people, well, what exactly is wrong with you? What have you done that is so awful that you can't accept yourself anymore? And I was never, ever given a response that was coherent or comprehensible in any way. They respond with something like, I'm too fat. When you talk about loving yourself, however, a lot of people have the impression that you're being vain. That is not the case at all, and the issue has nothing to do with that. To genuinely care about you, you need to recognize that you are an essential component of something. It's almost as if in the Bible they would tell you that because you acknowledge the fact that you are a child of God, you are without flaw. But even if you are not a person who believes in the Bible, if you are able to acknowledge that you are a worthy being, and if you can truly recognize the value that you bring to the world, then you will begin to treat yourself differently. And I believe that this is what is extremely important about loving yourself. which is that you stop being so hard on yourself and that you stop trying to prove that you are in the wrong. You need to stop going on and on about how terrible you are. You stop saying things to yourself like, "I'm really stupid," and you begin to treat yourself with a degree of respect. And the significance of this cannot be overstated because what you put out into the world is exactly what comes back to you. Consequently, if you give off the vibe that you are okay, that you are good enough as you are, and that you are acceptable, then you are. And I love both life and the person that I am. When you cultivate an attitude of gratitude toward yourself and the world around you, life begins to respond to you in unexpected ways because you are emitting and receiving a different vibration, which is a direct result of your altered state. After that, the flow of events really begins to pick up. There are a lot of people who are unaware of this fact, but in order to get better, you need to put in some practice. Because of this, I make it a point to have my clients do a lot of work in front of mirrors. If you do something as simple as looking in the mirror while looking into your own eyes and telling yourself, "I love you. I truly, madly, deeply love you." And it helps if you use your name, Louise, and say, "I love you, I really love you," because it gets to that little child inside of you that has been rejected for such a long time. It causes a dam or a door or whatever you want to call it to be breached. And it seems as though little miracles are beginning to take place. There are a lot of positive occurrences of a minor nature, and because the universe adores grateful people, the more grateful you are, the more the universe will shower you with things for which you have reason to be grateful. It can be summed up like this. In reality, life is not that complicated. We make it incredibly difficult for ourselves. However, this does not have to be the case for every single person from the moment we are born until the moment we pass away. But when we go on a spiritual journey, it seems to be more conscious, and we begin to make conscious choices about life. Rather than just going through the motions of getting up in the morning, doing things, and then going to bed, we begin to make conscious choices about our thoughts, our actions, and even the foods that we eat, as well as other things of the sort. And it's a matter of putting one foot in front of the other as you make your way along the path. Some of us take very circuitous routes. We make a lot of unnecessary detours, which prevents us from progressing very far. And some of us are just very conscientious about it and proceed one step at a time and move closer to our pathway. I think enlightenment is letting go of all the things we believe that are not benefiting us in life and are the barriers in our life to the good things, and some of us are just very conscientious about it, to release them one by one while thinking, "I don't have to believe that any longer. It is excruciating." You should strive for joy, harmony, and peace within yourself. To be in harmony means to be at peace with oneself. Both stress and inner harmony are mutually exclusive states of being that cannot coexist. When you are at peace with yourself and the world around you, you take things one step at a time and don't let the little things bother you. When you are feeling anxious, take action to free yourself from your fear. Take some deep breaths or go for a brisk walk to help you relax. Always keep in mind that the only power that exists in my world is mine. And I create a peaceful, loving, joyful, fulfilling life. You want to go through life with a sense that you are protected. Don't put too much stock in a relatively unimportant noun like stress. You should not allow this to serve as an excuse for you to tense up your body. You are powerless, and no one, no place, and no thing has any influence over you. The only thinker that exists in your head is you, and your thoughts are what bring your life into existence. Therefore, train your mind to think in a way that will make you feel better. In this way, you can ensure that you are always basing the creation of your life on joy and enjoyment. Affirmations for a life free of stress are always a source of joy, which in turn brings more reasons to rejoice. When I let go of all of my worries and concerns, life becomes much less complicated and difficult for me. I eliminate stress in my life by creating a world without it. I start by relaxing all of the muscles in my neck, and then I move on to releasing any tension in my shoulders. I take each breath in and out slowly, and I notice that with each breath I'm able to relax a little bit more. I am a capable person who is able to deal with anything that may be thrown in my direction. I have found my center, and I'm concentrating. Every day, I have a better sense of safety. When I let my emotions out, I am not in danger. I am able to maintain my composure in any circumstance. My financial situation does not bother me in any way. My ability to pay my bills in a timely manner is unfailing. I have faith in my own ability to solve any issues that may pop up throughout the day. I have the realization that stress is nothing more than fear. I now cast away all of my worries. You were watching just motivation.